Happy Monday. So I'm on M Live and I just saw this and I thought I'd share this with you because supposedly this massive infrastructure bill is supposed to be great for Michigan. Michigan, says senators celebrating likely passage. And as I scroll through and I look in the final vote early this week after the Senate voted 6-8 Sunday. Funny, why they're working Sundays, man? Not take a day off? To end the debate on the bill, bringing Congress one step closer to securing a key piece of JB's domestic agenda. U.S. Senators Debbie Stabby in the back, Democrat of Lansing, and Gary, don't know how he made it to any meetings because he never did before, but all of a sudden he's showing up. Absentee Gary Peters, Democrat of Bluefield Township, said the legislation represents a 31 increase in federal funding to build the roads and bridges. Well, isn't that what our governor was supposed to be doing when we voted her in? Fix the damn roads. Anywho, I'm thinking, because I was never very political, and yeah, I had my civics class. I just never really paid attention from high school on. Did what I did to graduate, and I know many of us did, which me personally, I'm kicking myself for. But I see these people like Stabenow and Peters in DC, and it's like the way that I'm trying to think of how to explain this to myself so I better understand what the hell's going on. So it seems to me like we have two representatives from every state that go to DC too, and it's like kind of like they go there to fight. They're supposed to fight for their state in DC, which is the capital of the U.S. So we have two Democrats in DC fighting for Michigan, and of all that, we have an absentee guy that the complaint was that this guy never went to local meetings and he never made it anywhere. And then you have Debbie Stabby in the back that's been around. I mean, how old is this lady? I mean, she's been a representative for Michigan. And I'm thinking back years, like younger, like when in my youth, she was in there. How do we have these people still in there? It's just, I don't know. But all I'm telling you is this does not look good. These people are trying to, how many millions of dollars do we need for Michigan? We have all these relief funds that they're pushing here, there, and everywhere. I guess when our president doesn't listen to the Supreme Court, I guess none of our legislature, government, feels that they have to. Oh, yeah, that's not what I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted to show you. So I guess if this person can defy the Supreme Court because he just doesn't like their decision, nobody has to listen, right? Or is it again rules for me, but not for thee, or rules for thee, but not for me? Sorry, I don't think I had enough coffee yet today. The other local thing is I know I had told you guys that I had sent an email to the principal of my little township school and the superintendent of Jackson County because my school is in the parameters of Jackson County. So I figured we would be following Jackson County's things. And so I had seen on M Live where, let me go here. They're talking about, oh, where is it at? I don't know if I can find it, but they were saying there was an article on M Live where they were saying that Jackson Public Schools are now have decided Jackson Public Schools. Maybe it's down further. It's going to make me mad. They were going to mandate in JPS, Jackson Public Schools, I don't see it. Man, I can't find it. Jackson, oh, maybe it was on Facebook. I think it was on, but I don't know. It should be here and I'm live. They were saying that the Jackson Public School District is now going to mandate it for the buses only, that they're going to require masks. So here we go. This is Genesee County. This is 2 days ago. Schools can still choose whether to enforce mask wearing despite recommendation by the Genesee County health officials. And this is something that when I talked to the principal, and I said, you know, I'm not sure if you're aware, I said, but Stand Up Michigan has a list of different counties that are not enforcing the mask mandate. And I said, and if that's something that we want to do, I said, if you like, I can look into it for you. I said, because from what I am aware of, the attorneys through Stand Up Michigan have said that it is entirely up to the district, the school district, whether or not to enforce this mandate, which here it says it right here. They can choose whether or not. And he said to me that it was up to the local, they were using the guidelines from their local DHHS. Local DHHS, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, there isn't like Washtenaw County DHHS is different from Jackson County DHHS. Any rules that they implement through Michigan DHHS, it funnels down. And again, this is what I was trying to explain to him, and I don't think he quite grasped what I was trying to explain to him that I knew was that no, that's not the case, because there is an individual Jackson County, Washington. Yes, there are individual, what do they call them? Satellite offices of Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, but they have the same protocols and policies as Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is what determines everything. And oh God, anyways, so he was like, as far as I know, we are going back to, in my little town, we are going back to 2019. We're trying to go back to as close to normal as we can, as far as he knows. And he said the only problem is they don't get it at the school. It comes to the school, the principal level or the superintendent, because he was sticking up for the superintendent, saying that they don't get notified. And usually, because our lovely governor, our Tyrannosaurus Rex here in Michigan, loved to come on a Friday afternoon and make her little thing, do her little thing on camera, because she loved to hear herself talk and she loved to see herself on TV. And she would do it later in the day, and then it would go down to the schools. And so it would be at the end of the day on a Friday that the schools got these new extensions or whatever she was going to, force down our throats. And that this came from the principal. So he was quite candid with me, and I really appreciated that. I was, really, and then I addressed the whole CRT thing with him. And he said that they are not changing their curriculum, and their curriculum has not changed in the 20 years that he's been principal. And I'm thinking, okay, we'll see what happens. And I said to him, I said, I'm just going to let you know, I am strongly opposed to it. And if I find that there's anything in there, I said, I'm going to bring it to your attention. I said, because I have a biracial grandson. And in you teaching this kind of thing, I said, my grandson has a half sibling who is not biracial. And I said, and this would cause a big rift in my family. And I said, and you don't want to fuck with my family. I said, I'm just going to tell you that right now. And I explained to him that I speak to all the parents of my grandkids. both my children and, their other counterpart parent. And they agreed that I have the best interest of the kids at heart and that, they're following my recommendations. No masks, no jabs. And there's a lot of propaganda getting pushed. And this divisiveness in Michigan, it's all because they're trying to hide what needs to happen. I have not called Shirky in a while. Maybe I'll do that on my next break. So, anywho, let's get back and see what else we got going on. I missed a lot. I haven't been feeling so hot. I've got a lot of stuff. I've got to get the little ready for school. And I did tell him, I said, there's a lot of folks that are thinking about making learning pods. And I love this. Hospital workers are carrying the weight of the COVID-19 and it's crushing them. They really don't seem to give a hoot. Because I think it was here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Let me do this. It'll just be easier this way. Oh, U of M to require face masks in all campus facilities. Well, ain't that a piss or poop? Oh, let's do. Here we go. Stand Up Michigan said it was the Detroit News that posted jab or job. Crowds protest vaccine mandates at the Michigan Capitol. So this happened on Friday. Hundreds of people gathered on the Capitol lawn Friday to protest the vaccine mandates that have been increasingly popular at Michigan's universities and healthcare systems, carrying signs that said jab or job. Wrong. Let me call my shots. A natural immunity is the gold standard. Representatives from the healthcare industry, state universities, the legislature, and even a group of nuns were in attendance. There were also faces that have become familiar at Michigan protests during the pandemic, including members of the anti-lockdown group Stand Up Michigan, the school sport advocacy group Let Them Play, and supporters of business owners who rose to infamy when they skirted pandemic rules. We are here today to fight for individuals' rights to choose. That's all. In the employment area, in the student area, in the schools and universities, or wherever else it's mandated, said Ron Armstrong, president for Stand Up Michigan, which organized the event with the Michigan Vaccine Choice Healthcare Workers for Freedom and other groups. Organizers plan to give people resources to help them ask employers or universities for explanations regarding why they should be vaccinated if they'd already had the virus and its accompanying antibodies, Armstrong said. Resources would also be made to help people confront employers regarding what level of responsibility firms will accept if an employee had an adverse reaction to a mandated vaccine. That's the big question. As of Friday, nearly 59% of the state's population over the age of 12 had received at least the first dose, according to data from the state health department. Michigan has reported 910,500 confirmed cases of the virus and 19,950 deaths connected with the virus. Among the universities already requiring vaccination are University of Michigan, Michigan State University, Wayne State University. Hospital systems requiring the vaccine include Beaumont Health, Spectrum Health, the Henry Ford Health System, Ascension Health, and Trinity Health. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control, which the CDC, which mind you, is a contractor. They are not any federal governmental agency. They're like a contractor, and they just give us advice. Just an FYI, look it up on Google. Has maintained that vaccines which have been approved by the FDA for emergency use, and that's just it, emergency use. And the only time you can get anything approved, and you can Google this, for emergency use is if there is no therapeutics. There are therapeutics. They banned them. They banned them. You can't even use the word. You can't even use the words because you would get banned off social media. And it's what the president got treated with. I'm not sure if I'm spelling that right. There we go. There, I spelled it right. And there's one other one. I can't remember the name of it, but these were therapeutics that were banned so that they could have their emergency use. Anywho. But many at Friday's protest expressed a distrust in the CDC's changing guidance. Oh, you don't say, flip-flop Fauci. Oh, people are paying attention and waking up. During the pandemic, and specifically its insistence on vaccination for people who have recovered from the virus. Heather Giacana, a nurse for Ascension Health, said she contracted the virus in March of 2020, like me, and still tested positive for antibodies as of this week. She's opposed to the mandate and is seeking additional answers from the hospital system's executive team regarding the requirement. There are too many unknowns around the virus itself and the vaccine, said Giacana. Sounds like Jill's maiden name, a resident of the Chesterfield Township. People have the same right to choose whether they're going to take the risk. They should be respecting the rights of their own healthcare workers, just like we have to uphold the rights of our patients every day. Fellow Ascension nurse Amy Malone of Oxford emphasizes she's not anti-vax, but doesn't believe there has been enough time and research to know the full effect of this. She has also had, Malone also already had the virus. I just feel like the virus does not have enough research and I'm just not comfortable getting it, she said. The day before MSU announced its mandate, 20-year-old PJ Cerati went to his doctor's office to get the jab, but when he expressed reservations about the jab, he said his doctor supported his decision to leave without the vaccination. And that's how it should be. What is wrong with the world today? But anyway, so this is this happened Friday. Pretty cool, eh? Got to speak up, speaky. Yeah, so they're even enforcing it for students who've had the jabs, which is kind of stupid. I just don't get it. So let's see in the news. Let me just go over. We already knew that as of last week that 5 COVID Delta variant cases are linked to Faster Horses Festival. And I find this to be amusing. Go here. There's that infrastructure bill. The $4 billion gamble. Should Michigan have axed the extra 300 employment? Vaccine boosters for immunocompromised are priority. For the rest of the populations, it's not so clear. I am immunocompromised. I have Hashimoto's thyroid, and I am not going to. I have enough to deal with without all the other bullshit, and that is not going to spin off any better for my body than what I have to deal with regularly. Food claim denied. FEMA wants you to try again. A Native American boarding schools in Michigan created a legacy of pain for survivors and future generations. This was interesting. The Capitol rioter court rules for transgender protections in elections. What? Oh, that was just a week in a week in a glance. This was interesting. Auditor General can't review the election audits or local election results, Nessel says. Lansing, Michigan, the tape law says it has no legal authority to audit county clerk operations or results. The state constitution does not authorize the Auditor General to conduct post-election audits, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel said in an opinion released. So I read this and I had to reread it a couple times. So the state constitution does not authorize the Auditor General to conduct post-election audits. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel said in an opinion released Friday. I find that odd because I read the Michigan Constitution, and in the Constitution, it states that we have the right to request an audit. If we can request it, who the hell is supposed to do it? This is her being a rock, being that stone in your shoe, that pebble in your shoe that makes it hard to walk, that stick in your wheel. The opinion came at the request of Secretary of State. Now look at and listen to the words, folks. The opinion came at the request of Secretary of State Benson following Auditor General Doug Ringler's announcement of a post-election audit. In her request made last month, Benson said that while the Michigan Bureau of Elections has no objection to the Auditor General reviewing the Bureau's post-election auditing procedure, the OAG's apparent intent to reconduct actual precinct procedural audits carried out by county and local election officials appears to be in conflict with the federal retention requirements following federal elections and poses additional legal and logistical questions under state law. Ringler's view comes amid pressure from some Republican lawmakers who have cast doubt on the Secretary of State's ability to conduct selections audits. The opinion focused on whether the Auditor General physically handling records while conducting the audit violates federal record retention laws, and if the Auditor General has the authority to request and review local records outside the issuance of a subpoena or other request. Now, here again, Nessel's opinion states that while the Auditor General may subject the Michigan Bureau of Elections to performance audit regarding the Bureau's procedures for conducting post-election audits, that authority does not extend to local jurisdictions. Is it me? Because I read this and I read it again, and it seems like she's kind of walking in circles. She's not really. I read it yourself. You guys have to really read this because I have a funny feeling that she's going to be really. That's the Steve Carr bill that he proposed. Anyways, that was quite interesting. And there's that rally from Friday. We gotta vote these people out, guys. We really do. We really do. And this is politics. Cuomo's top aide Melissa DeRosa resigned. What? Albany, Cuomo's top aide Melissa DeRosa has resigned. DeRosa resigned Sunday night, days after a report described how she retaliated against one of Cuomo's sexual harassment accusers. In a statement Sunday night, DeRosa said the last 2 years have been emotionally and mentally trying. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve the people of New York for the past 10 years, she wrote. New Yorkers' resilience, strength, and optimism through the most difficult times has inspired me every day. A state attorney general report last week corroborated sexual harassment accusations against Cuomo and exposed cracks in the governor's inner circle of advisors, the New York Daily News reported. DeRosa's testimony was included in Attorney General Letitia James' report, which I heard there's some stuff you might want to look into her about too. Throughout the Attorney General's report, DeRosa is mentioned by name 187 times, as much as Cuomo himself. Wow. That's a pretty sad. And this is what they have for politics. Try that. Woman sued McDonald's alleging a cheeseburger ad attempted her to break Lenten fast. Really? Okay. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. And here's more of that porn from Fradici, fearing about the lambda delta lambda lambda coming could double and it starts again. College students are buying fake vaccine cards to skirt admission requirements. The FBI is cracking down on similar schemes elsewhere. This is pretty sad. So this doesn't tell you that we're tired of it. They really need to, you know what? The administration, the squatters in the White House, they really need to put their ear to the ground and start listening to what the people are doing. This is not going to be pretty. It's just not going to be pretty. People are going to fight back. We are, you know, wow, Texas GOP official who supported mass burning dead of COVID. Yeah, that's right, because everybody dies of COVID. Oh God, I'm sorry I shouldn't laugh, but it was funny. You know it was the new Epsilon Lambda may be resistant to vax. Oh God, this really upset me. I read this after living in the woods for decades. This poor old man, I can't believe what they did to him. Where did I find that? Oh, I think it was, I wanted to show you. It was here. And it was last week. So as you're trolling on Facebook, here it is right here. Check your phones, check your settings on all of your social media platforms, and just look at your privacy settings. This is creepy as shit. This is creepy AF, okay? Your Facebook selfies could end up in a police surveillance database. Well, we all know that our driver's license with the barcode, hello folks, if they're not keeping track of you now, what do you think is going to be next? So when you post a picture to Facebook, it's not just your friends and grandma who can see it. The police are increasingly using social media to identify suspects through controversial facial recognition technology. Okay, so here, let me go back to, I'm going to show you, this is a group. I think it was here. No, that was not the right one. Let me go back up a little more. Mm. Ah, I can't find it, but there's a lady who says in northern Michigan, she was going shopping, and I believe it's a TikTok video where she shows the video. Um, okay, can't find it. Anyways, I'll find it. I'll show it to you later. But anyways, so that was that. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, let me get off here. So it's just kind of crazy what they're doing and what's going on. Um you guys, it's really, oh, I wanted to tell you something funny. So I was taking one of my kids to the airport Friday, which is why I didn't come on. Plus, I had one of the grands was not feeling good, so it was a family day. And we're on our way there, and I saw these. They were like military, and I completely forgot about the Blue Angels that go out every year over to Ipsy. And I'm like, what the F is going on? And because it wasn't like how they do tricks and they do loop de loos, and you can tell that they're doing like an air show. This was like they were doing maneuvers, and it was really like they were. It was like they were training. It wasn't like they were rehearsing, like dives, and it was creepy. And we drove there, dropped them off at the airport on our way back home. And it was on our way back home that one of them flew so low over 94 that we looked up and could actually see that it said Blue Angels. So with that, I'm going to leave you today. Going back to work. Have a great one. And remember, every house has its cross. Be kind to each other. These are trying times. People are learning. People are waking up. We don't know the burden someone carries. And it is so important. Um, uh, uh, um, it's all about the children. Just remember that. Okay? It's all about the kids. And people are not going to be able to handle what they're learning. Brad Barton, I suggest you go check him out on Rumble. He had a very interesting video the other day. So just like I said, be kind. You don't know what people are going through. It is what it is. And, we want to teach with love. Okay. I know we don't agree with people. That does not give you the right to be snarky and snide. And yes, you can giggle if you want, but don't humiliate someone. It's not cool. It's not cool. Be nice, folks. Teach with love. Remember, knowledge is power. And we need to share that power, because united we stand, divided we fall. They want us divided. They want us scared, and they want us weak. Knowledge is power. Share it. Unite. United we stand, divided we fall. And be kind, for the love of God. Be kind. There is so much more you can achieve with kindness than you can with, and I know we got a lot to be bitter about. There's a lot of shit that people need to answer to and for, but that's not our job. It's not our job to judge. That's God's job. Our job is just to wake people up and bring them back to God. Because for far too long, we have allowed people to take him out of our homes, our schools. Hell, they wouldn't even let us go worship last year. So we're not gonna do that, are we, guys? All right. God bless you all. Remember, if you want, hit the like button. If you want, subscribe. Doesn't really matter. I'm not monetized. So enjoy your day. God bless you all. Share if you want. Bye. Oop, gotta end it.